There was a time when I doubted. I looked at others celebrating their wins, holding tickets that changed their lives, and I thought maybe they were just lucky. But one day, something shifted inside me. I stopped chasing the outer result, and I began creating it from within. I realized the true lottery is not played with numbers, it's played in the imagination. The moment I claimed the feeling of being a winner, the outer world started to bend in my favor. I didn't hope to win, I knew I had already won. In my mind, I saw myself holding that ticket. I felt the paper in my hand, heard the announcer's voice, and saw my name flash across the screen. I felt gratitude before the world had given me a reason. Every night before sleep, I stepped into that state. I replayed my victory until it became real to me. The joy was so deep that I would wake up smiling, not waiting for the win, but living as though it had already happened. I wasn't asking anymore, I was being. Then came the day. The numbers aligned, the ticket matched, and the world simply mirrored what I had long been holding in my heart. People called it luck. I called it proof. Manifestation works because consciousness is the only reality. The world you see is nothing but a reflection of the state you occupy within. Change your state, and your world must rearrange itself to match. I didn't chase wealth, I became wealth in consciousness, and the physical followed. The moment you feel the reality of your desire, not wish for it, not beg for it, but feel it as done, creation is finished. You may not see it instantly, but it's done in the unseen. Stay faithful to that inner world and watch how life brings the proof to your door. My lottery win wasn't the miracle. The real miracle was realizing that my imagination held the power all along. So today I say this to you. Stop waiting and start being. Assume the feeling of your dream fulfilled. Walk as if it's already yours. Speak from the end. Celebrate before the world gives you a reason. Because the moment you believe it's real, the universe has no choice but to prove you right. And that right there is the proof that manifestation works. My lottery win is real, but so is yours waiting to appear. Imagination creates reality. Every event, every success, every manifestation in your life begins not in the outer world, but in the quiet, unseen world of your mind. The imagination is not a place of fantasy, it is the workshop of creation. Before any building rises, the architect first sees it within. Before any song is heard, the composer feels it inwardly. Likewise, before any dream becomes visible, it must be fully imagined, felt, and accepted as real in consciousness. The outer world is nothing more than the shadow of your inner reality. What you think, what you feel, and what you assume as true within yourself eventually takes form in the material world. You do not attract what you want, you attract what you are conscious of being. The imagination is the soil, and your thoughts are the seeds. Whatever you plant in that soil and nurture with emotion will grow. Whether it's abundance or lack, success or failure, joy or fear. Every image you hold persistently in your imagination gathers energy and substance until it pushes itself into visibility. You may not see how it happens, but life always finds the perfect route to make your inner picture come alive. When you imagine vividly and consistently, the universe rearranges itself to reflect your inner assumption. This is why it is said that imagination is the creative power of God within you. It shapes your destiny through the pictures and feelings you entertain. When you learn to live more from your imagination than from your senses, you step into true mastery. The senses only show you the past, what you have already imagined into existence. But your imagination reveals the future, what can be, what already is in the unseen. To live by imagination is to trust the invisible more than the visible, to hold the feeling of your desire fulfilled, even when your current world contradicts it. So close your eyes often, not to escape the world, but to create it. See yourself as the person you desire to be, feel it deeply, and know that what you imagine is already taking root in the unseen. Reality will follow, as it always must, for imagination is not daydreaming. It is the divine act of creation itself, and it is through this sacred power that your world is born. To assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled is to step beyond hoping, beyond wanting, and into being. It is to enter the state of your desired reality as though it were already true, and to dwell there emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. When you live in the end, you are no longer waiting for your manifestation to come. You are living from it. You have moved from desire to fulfillment, from separation to possession, from asking to knowing. This is the true art of manifestation, to feel the reality of your wish as though it were already complete. Most people imagine their desires as something distant, something they must work hard to achieve. But desire itself is proof that what you seek already exists in the unseen. The key is to claim it inwardly, to wear its feeling like a garment. The outer world can only mirror what you are inwardly conscious of being. If you feel poor while wishing for wealth, your state of lack will continue to reproduce itself. But the moment you feel abundant, grateful, and secure, even before any physical evidence appears, you have entered the state where the outer world must conform to your new assumption. Assumption living in the end means thinking, speaking, and acting as the version of yourself who already possesses what you desire. It's not pretending, it's choosing a higher reality. You begin to walk differently, speak with quiet confidence, and radiate certainty. Each time you return to that feeling, you reinforce your new state of being, and the invisible pattern of your life begins to reshape itself. The bridge of events that leads to your fulfillment starts forming the moment you assume it is done. Emotion is the power behind the assumption. You must feel the satisfaction, the relief, the joy, as though your wish has already manifested. Let that emotion saturate your being until it becomes your natural vibration. You may not see results immediately, but the creative process has already begun. The unseen responds to your inner conviction, not to your outer circumstances. So live in the end. Close your eyes and feel the joy of your dream realized. Smile because it's already yours. Speak from that truth. Walk from that truth. And hold that state until it feels natural. The moment you fully assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled, creation is complete and reality will soon reveal what you have already claimed within. Faith is seeing beyond sight. It is the quiet certainty that what you have imagined and felt within already exists, even when the senses deny it. True faith is not blind belief, it is inner knowing. It does not depend on evidence from the outer world because faith itself is the evidence of the unseen. When you have faith, you no longer look to appearances to confirm your desire. You look within and you rest in the conviction that creation is already finished. The outer world is nothing more than a mirror reflecting the state of your inner being. What you hold to be true within yourself must eventually appear in your experience. But before the reflection changes, the inner image must change first. Faith is what bridges that unseen transformation. It is the unwavering trust that, even if everything around you contradicts your vision, the unseen is already moving on your behalf. To the world, it may look like nothing is happening, but in the realm of consciousness, everything is already done. Many lose faith because they judge by appearances. They let temporary conditions dictate their beliefs. But faith stands firm even when nothing seems to shift, because it knows the invisible is more real than the visible. The physical world is slow to catch up to the vibrational truth that faith sustains. Just as a seed buried in the soil takes time to break through the surface, your assumption takes time to reveal itself in form. Faith is the patience that keeps you aligned during that unseen growth. To live by faith is to act and feel as though your dream were already realized. It is to speak from the end, not toward it. When you have faith, you no longer ask, when will it happen? You say, it is already done. This inner assurance rearranges your emotions, your actions, and eventually your circumstances. Faith is the unseen hand shaping destiny. It is the invisible blueprint from which all visible things are formed. When you believe in what you cannot yet see, you give permission for it to appear. The moment you hold unwavering conviction within, life must echo it without. For the outer world is only a reflection, and faith is the light that determines what image the mirror reveals. Persistence in the invisible is the true test of creation. It is easy to believe when results appear, but real power lies in holding your inner vision steady when nothing seems to change. The unseen realm is where everything begins, and persistence is the force that keeps your inner world aligned with your desire until the outer world catches up. When you persist, you are declaring to the universe that your inner assumption is more real than the current circumstances. You refuse to be swayed by appearances, emotions, or delays because you know the law of manifestation is unfailing. What you assume and persist in will harden into fact. Every great transformation begins as an invisible seed. You plant your intention in consciousness and nurture it with feeling, focus, and belief. But just as a seed takes time to break through the soil, your desire often requires unseen gestation. During that period, doubts and fears may arise, and your senses may tempt you to give up or change direction. This is the moment where persistence matters most. You must remain faithful to the inner vision, even when the outer world gives no sign of progress. Persistence is not forced effort, it is calm conviction. It is the quiet inner knowing that what you have imagined is already yours. You return again and again to the feeling of fulfillment, to the inner scene of success, until it becomes natural to you. You are not trying to make it happen. You are allowing it to unfold, confident that the unseen is always working in perfect order. When you persist, you build spiritual stamina. Each time you choose faith over fear, vision over doubt, and stability over reaction, you strengthen your creative authority. The outer world is slow to move because it is dense, but it must eventually yield to the consistent vibration you maintain within. So hold your inner picture firmly. Do not measure progress by time or evidence. Know that every unseen movement, every small act of belief is shaping the bridge of events that will lead to your manifestation. The invisible is not empty, it is alive with activity. Remain stable in that truth, and when the time is ripe, the invisible will become visible. Persistence is the key that unlocks the unseen and brings your inner world to life. Motion is the bridge between desire and reality. It is the invisible current that carries your imagination into form. Every thought you think is charged with emotion, and that emotional charge determines how powerfully your thought impresses itself upon the subconscious mind. The subconscious is not moved by logic or effort. It is moved by feeling. What you feel deeply, you create. Emotion is not a reaction to reality. It is the creative force that shapes it. When you desire something, that desire begins as a thought. But thought alone is only potential energy. It becomes creative only when infused with emotion. Feeling is the language of the universe. It communicates directly with the unseen forces that govern your reality. The moment you feel the joy, gratitude, and certainty of already having what you desire, you send a powerful command to the subconscious mind. This is my truth, and once accepted there, that truth must externalize itself as fact. Many people try to manifest through words or visualizations alone, yet they fail because they do not feel what they are imagining. They repeat affirmations but remain emotionally unchanged. The outer world does not respond to empty repetition, it responds to the vibration of genuine emotion. To bridge the gap between desire and realization, you must feel now what you would feel if your wish were fulfilled. That emotion becomes the energetic link between the unseen idea and the seen manifestation. Emotion collapses the distance between you and your goal. When you feel it as real, you draw it to you instantly in consciousness, and physical reality rearranges itself to mirror that feeling. This is why joy, gratitude, and love are so magnetic. They align you with the higher frequency of your fulfilled state. Conversely, fear, doubt, and frustration keep you locked in separation, reinforcing the absence of your desire. To manifest consciously, make emotion your ally. Close your eyes, see the scene fulfilled, and allow the feeling to rise in your heart until it becomes undeniable. Feel it until your whole being vibrates with the reality of your dream. Emotion is not weakness, it is creation in motion. When feeling and imagination merge, the bridge is complete, and what once was only a desire must step into form, drawn across the bridge of emotion into the light of reality. Manifestation is proof, not luck. What the world calls luck is nothing more than the visible outcome of invisible alignment. Every so-called lucky break, every unexpected opportunity, every moment of perfect timing is evidence that your inner state has matched your desired reality. The universe does not deal in chance, it operates by law. When your thoughts, emotions, and assumptions are aligned in harmony, the outer world must reflect that order in precise and often astonishing ways. What appears as coincidence is simply creation unfolding through perfect design. Most people believe luck happens randomly, that some are favored while others are forgotten. But luck is not bestowed, it is generated. You create your own fortune through the vibration you consistently maintain. When you assume the feeling of being blessed, successful, and favored, you attract experiences that match those assumptions. Your reality bends to your inner conviction. This is not magic, it is the natural result of energetic alignment. Manifestation is the law of reflection at work. The outer world cannot bring you what you have not first claimed within. When you call yourself lucky, you are not describing an event, you are declaring a state of being. The state of inner certainty that everything always works in your favor invites the world to prove it true. The people, opportunities, and circumstances you encounter are drawn to you by the signal of your belief. When your inner world is filled with doubt or fear, life will seem uncertain and unfair. But when your inner world is filled with gratitude, confidence, and expectancy, life mirrors that back as luck. You become the magnet of favorable outcomes because you no longer resist them through disbelief. Manifestation is not about hoping something will happen. It is about knowing that creation is already finished in the unseen and allowing the physical to catch up. So when success appears, do not dismiss it as luck. Recognize it as proof that you have aligned with the frequency of what you desired. Every win, every blessing, Every manifestation is a reflection of your inner harmony. Luck is not random, it is resonance. And once you understand this, you no longer wait for fortune to favor you. You become the cause of your own luck, consciously shaping your destiny from within. Everything begins and ends within you. The imagination is your divine workshop. Feeling is your creative bridge. Faith is your foundation, and persistence is your proof. When you assume the feeling of your wish fulfilled and hold it with unwavering faith, the invisible becomes visible, and what once felt distant becomes your living reality. There is no such thing as coincidence or luck. There is only alignment with the truth you dare to believe. Your outer world will always echo the vibration of your inner conviction. My lottery win was not a stroke of luck. It was the inevitable result of believing before seeing, feeling before receiving, and trusting the unseen more than the visible. Manifestation works because consciousness is the only reality. Once you understand this, you stop chasing results and start living as the creator of your own world. So hold your vision, live in the end, feel it real, persist in faith, and soon you will stand where I stand. Living proof that manifestation is not a fantasy, but a divine law in motion. Thank you for listening. May your imagination always lead you to the reality you choose to believe in.